So I've been trauma shopping. Before we get started today, don't forget I have a brand new Patreon where you can get all kinds of extra perks like ad-free videos, exclusive content, discounts at my doll shop, which is johnnysdollshop.com. And you can find it all at patreon.com/idreamofjohnny. I would love to have you there. Okay, on with the show. So some of you may know that my life is pure chaos right now with a bunch of stuff going on, but we're not getting into that today in this video. Today, we're going to get into the result of that, which is my incessant shopping addiction, because I guess this is how I deal with my problems now. So if you've seen my previous videos on Courtney, you know that as soon as I got this doll, I fell in love with her. I absolutely love her aesthetic. And then a few days later, after making those videos, I actually started reading her book, and then I just fell head over heels for this character. It just, I have to say, I haven't even finished reading the book yet. I'm trying to savor it, but I've been trying to read like a couple of chapters every night here and there, and I have to say I'm really enjoying it, and it's really made me love Courtney even more. So that said, I've basically bought pretty much her entire collection now, with the exception of a few things. And so, yeah, I went on eBay and on a mad tear, like buying all of the retired stuff that American Girl released for Courtney that's no longer available. So I'm gonna run through everything I've gotten in the last week, and yeah, we'll take some of it out of the box because some of this stuff I haven't seen before, and now I know how it relates to the story. So it's really exciting to finally see this stuff. All right, so let's put Courtney down before I mess her hair up even more than I have already. But first I'm going to show you the mix and match stuff I got, because that truly is my favorite part about Courtney's collection, is what a great job they did with making a bunch of pieces that you can buy and literally make hundreds, possibly thousands of combinations of outfits for Courtney. And it's been really fun to kind of play around with at night, you know, just trying to wind down before bed and, you know, saying like, what do these shorts look like with this shirt? It's just been so much fun. So I really want to get everything that they made for her mix and match collection, because I really am having a lot of fun playing with it. So one of the first things I did was try and find some of the pieces that are a little bit harder to find because they retired, I'm thinking probably last year and maybe a little bit earlier, maybe 2 years ago, that were sort of like a limited run for her. Things like this pink cropped jacket, which is so 80s and so cute. I feel like I could see like Rose Nyland on the Golden Girls wearing this, so I had to have this. Again, retired, had to buy it on eBay. Her splatter print dress, which I believe also just retired. It's no longer available on the website, and as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, I need that now. So I had to go find this on eBay as well, and I think it's gonna be really cute on her. I got her jean jacket and her mom jeans, which I actually have had these for a couple of years already. This was one of the first things I actually bought from American Girl when I started getting into the dolls a couple of years ago as an adult. These were still available, so I bought a few of these because I think these are so cool, like especially this jacket. I have several of these, and to me, it's just one of the best things that they've made in recent years. The quality is so good, so I wanted to have another one, so here we are. I ended up getting another one of her shirt and tie because it's one of my favorite pieces of the collection. As you can tell, like Courtney's wearing it right now, but I've had some thoughts about what I want to do with the dolls even since the last video I recorded. I've been talking about maybe making some extra 80s characters, and so I'm thinking I want to make a character, like get a boy doll and make it her best friend Kip from the stories. And I think it's Truly Me number 75 that I think is technically retired, but you can still get him, I think, on Amazon. I'm thinking about getting him and turning him into Kip, and I think this might be a really good piece for him to wear. And I got her skirt and suspenders, which is another piece I was really wanting that had already been retired, because these suspenders are so cool. I think they'll go with so many different things. I don't like the skirt as much. It actually kind of looks a little 2000s to me, if I'm honest. But the suspenders, I think, will be a great piece to mix and match with other things. So I definitely had to have this. I got another pair of sunglasses, which I'm thinking about painting. But, you know, these are so cheap. Like, why not pick up another pair? I tend to have my dolls in either eyeglasses or sunglasses, so it doesn't hurt to have an extra pair of these. I got her leggings set, which, again, I don't know how much I'm going to use these, but something tells me I might like using these blue tights. Actually, they are leggings, never mind. But I think these go all the way down to her shoes, so they can look like tights if you want them to. So I think this is actually going to be the piece that I use from this the most. But again, I want to complete Courtney's collection, so even the things that aren't like my absolute favorite, I'm still getting them. I got this Kelly Kapowski cardigan, which I am so excited about. I think a lot of you have probably seen a lot of the reference images that they used for Courtney, but Kelly Kapowski from Saved by the Bell had this, like a cardigan on that was almost an exact match to this, and one of the, like, there's like a screen grab from it. So I had to have this. I loved Saved by the Bell, and I was alive and watching it as new episodes aired. So, you know, that became kind of a staple in a lot of people's households, because once it went on syndication, it would basically be like a morning ritual for a lot of people to wake up early and while they're getting ready for school to watch Saved by the Bell. So that brings back so much memory to have this. So this was definitely a piece that I could not pass up. I got this t-shirt and tank set, which again, I think will be great if I get a doll to make into her best friend Kip, because this t-shirt set would be great for a boy doll. So again, I had to have this as well. And I love that it's 2 pieces as well. So Courtney can wear that green tank top by itself underneath it, which I think is really cool. I also got her graphic sweatshirt. Again, another staple piece in her mix and match. And you know, I think this looks very, very 80s. I have to see what it looks like when it's on, but I think they've made it a little bit long, which is cool. Yeah, and I think this is another piece I'm going to use because, as you know, I love jackets and sweaters and eyewear for dolls. Like, those are my favorite pieces to have. So anytime a doll has a sweatshirt, you know I'm going to get it. And the last article of clothing I got for her were these blue shorts. And again, I think these will be great to mix with a bunch of other things. And also, it's something that Kip could wear if I end up getting a doll to turn into Kip, like I've said 1,000 times already. Sorry, I keep saying that. It cuts to me not even doing that, but I think it's really great to have options for a boy doll and as far as like the 80s style goes, because I really think I'm gonna buy some more dolls and dress them up to be friends with Courtney. So yeah, I love having shorts. Another piece I was really excited to get were her flats and socks, because I think this is such a cute set and I love mixing pink and blue, so I knew this would be something that I would use a bunch. And I remember when these actually were low in stock, and I remember saying, like, you know what, I don't have Courtney yet, so I won't bother getting them. But I definitely regret not buying things that were low in stock on AmericanGirl.com when I was pretty sure I was going to get Courtney, because these things are a lot more expensive to get now, which is crazy because they haven't even been retired that long. But I have them now and I'm really excited because I think they're going to look great with a bunch of different outfits I can put together for her. I ended up getting another pair of the Reebok high tops. Again, an iconic piece for Courtney and an iconic piece for the 80s. And I just love these. I have a pair on Courtney already. She's wearing them right now. And the quality on these is exceptional, especially considering I believe they're only $16 to order from American Girl. I think that is great value for money, so I definitely had to have a second pair of these. I absolutely love them. One of the other random things I got was this promotional set. I think this was a promotional set that American Girl did. Maybe it was for Courtney's release. I don't entirely know, but I think it's a child size and a doll size scrunchie. So this came with 2 scrunchies in the splatter print design. So I've got the bigger one in here, which again, I think is for children. And then I actually have the other one already in Courtney's hair, because I got a little bit excited last night and wanted to take something out of the box because I was waiting to film. I wanted to open the stuff with you guys. But yeah, I already have this one on Courtney. And I think it looks really great with this shirt from the shirt and tie set. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, who doesn't love this doll or in this line? I just think that these pieces are so cool and they're so much fun. So I'm really, really glad I got Courtney and I'm able to like buy as much of her collection as I have and really enjoy every single piece. I ended up getting her fanny pack and swatch, but that actually was just an extra that came with some of the stuff I ordered. So I probably will end up selling this, I think, because I don't know that I want 2 of them, but I have it. So here you go. Another thing I ended up picking up, again, in the spirit of being a completionist, is her fashion accessories. And, you know, I definitely will end up using this green scrunchie because I love having scrunchies in Courtney's hair and around her wrist. And I've actually been kind of interested to try out this like taffeta bow that's sort of like Madonna looking. I think that's really cool. But the other thing too is it's got her earrings in here. And that is a question I wanted to ask all of you is, should I pierce my Courtney's ears? Because I got her directly from American Girl, but I opted not to pierce her ears because I have seen other people get their dolls' ears pierced at American Girl. And sometimes they look kind of lopsided, like they pierce it in a different spot on each lobe. And sometimes it's like in a spot, I'm like, nobody would get their ear pierced right there. So if I pierce her ears, I'm going to do it myself because I actually have a drill press and I can do it very, very accurately. So I just haven't been brave enough to go ahead and do it because once they're pierced forever, especially if you use the American Girl earrings because the posts on them are so thick. So I haven't been able to like convince myself to do it yet. But if you have Courtney especially, and if you pierced her ears, let me know if you like having her ears pierced or not, because a lot of the times I actually have her headphones from her accessory set on her head because I just think that's such a cute detail that I wondered if like it's even worth piercing her ears ears just because, you know, it'll be covered most of the time. And another thing I don't know actually is, does it devalue a doll to have her ears pierced? Like if it's, I mean, obviously if it's like a Samantha from 1986, of course, like having her ears pierced would devalue her. But like, I don't even know why I'm asking this. It's just out of curiosity, I guess. But does it add or take away value to have a modern American Girl doll's ear pierced, or both her ears pierced? Because I can see how it actually would add value, because American Girl charges like $18 to do it, which, you know, depending on how adept you are at using power tools, it might make more sense to just do it at home, again, because you can do it exactly how you like it, but you only get one chance to do it, so you probably don't want to screw it up. But yeah, let me know if you think I should pierce my Courtney's ears, because I really kind of want to put those like star earrings in her ears. I think they're really cute. Another piece I had to have was her school supplies, and I'll be honest, I hope the person that illustrated these isn't watching this, because I don't want to be mean, but I don't personally like the illustrations on these, like the unicorn and the dolphin. They look very derivative of Lisa Frank, and obviously it's supposed to like mimic Lisa Frank's school supplies, but it's a very like simplified vectorized version of it. Like it's missing all of the extra like colors and gradients, and just this doesn't cut it for me when it comes to the actual like trying to look like Lisa Frank. To me, it looks like the dollar store version of it. So when I wasn't sure that I was going to get all of Courtney's collection, I kind of went back and forth whether I was going to buy this, because I do not care for the illustrations on the books and stuff, but I really do love the pencils and the erasers and the pencil box. Like those I think are so cool. So I think this set is going to be worth having for me. We'll find out once I actually get it out of the box. But yeah, I was sort of like on the fence on this one, just because I love some of the accessories in this, but some of the other ones I think they probably could have spent a little bit more time perfecting. And of course, you know, I got her Caboodles. I remember these from the 80s, even though I never had one. My mom owned a dance school, so I remember like lots of little girls running around with like their makeup and hair stuff in these like Caboodle kits. So it's still like a very vivid memory for me, even though I never had one. So I definitely wanted to get this. This is such an 80s throwback, and this is going to look great in her bedroom set. The other thing I got was her pet guinea pig, Parsley, which this is actually one of the things I didn't think I was going to get before I decided to collect everything for Courtney. But once I started reading her book and realized how important this character, I say character, it was her pet guinea pig, but how important this was to her story, like this kind of warms my heart to have. Again, I'm going to put it with her bedroom set, and again, it just reminds me of the story, and I've had so much fun enjoying this story and taking my time and really soaking it in. So I'm glad I got Parsley. He's going to be a cute little sidekick for Courtney. And lastly, I got the quote-unquote pleasant company version of Molly. As all of you may have guessed, of course my Courtney doll is going to get her very own Molly, because Molly is arguably my favorite American Girl doll next to Samantha. So yeah, the fact that they tried to do one that looked like the 1986 version of Molly, which, you know, as an expert, I have a couple of notes as far as like the appearance of the doll, but I think they did a really good effort to try and make one look like it was the 1986 version of her. We'll talk about it a little bit more as I get this open, but yeah, I absolutely had to have this set. So I'm probably not going to open every single thing. Like I think a lot of these clothes that are just in the like flat clear bags, you've probably seen a million times already. And so, you know, I'm not going to make this video like 2 hours long, but I really want to open up some of these accessory sets just to finally lay my eyes on them, because I haven't seen them in person. So actually I have seen Molly in person. I did buy her a couple of years ago, but I ended up selling her just because I wanted to get the very first version with the plastic eyes that were released, I think in either 95 or 96. I can't remember. It might have been 96 for the 10-year anniversary. I can't remember. Anyway, she's up there. So I ended up selling my American Girl version. But now that I have Courtney in our collection, I wanted to get this again, because again, this is an iconic piece technically, because it's Molly. So first off in here, we have a reproduction of the 1986 catalog, which I actually might make another video, like a separate video, to go through this and compare it to the original catalog from 1986, because I have one from 1987 and it's essentially the same thing. So I have the real life version of this. So I think it might be fun to go in and compare this to the original one. But from what I can tell, it's a very, very close representation. I think one of the main things is they didn't put the original prices prices in here. Oh, actually they did. I was thinking these didn't have the prices in. So yeah, this will be fun to go through and compare. It might be an exact copy. So here's Molly's Pleasant Company box. And again, this is a representation of the original boxes, like the gift boxes that were wrapped in ribbon. So I have a bunch of these because I have a lot of the original dolls. And I think they did a really good job replicating this, even though the color is technically more of a cream color than a pure white. So that would be one of my notes for the box. But all in all, this looks like a pretty good, like 1/3 scale of it. And of course, this satin bow here is just an extra. This is, I guess, because Courtney got this for Christmas. I'm guessing it was for Christmas. This is just like a gift wrap for Courtney. This is not an original like Pleasant Company concept. So yeah, let's have a look at Molly really quick. So we've got our book, we've got our glasses. She's strapped in with some plastic. Let me take that off. So again, this is more, I don't want to like make this an hour-long video about nitpicks, but yeah, these plastic book holders were not in the original Pleasant Company. They actually used to, like Pleasant Company dolls, they used to be made out of cardboard actually. But we've got our glasses. This is technically not what Meet Molly looks like in 1986. Actually, they changed the illustrations in the late 80s. So this is actually a late 80s version of Meet Molly. It's not the 1986 version. Again, a nitpick, but you know, I'm gonna nitpick. And here's Molly. Again, she looks very like American Girl, not Pleasant Company, but you know, all in all, I think scale-wise, she looks really great. This doll, I have to say, for the price, does have a lot of details and quality on her. I will say she doesn't have her pie bangs, which would have been a nice detail, but again, when you're standing back and looking at Courtney from afar, like holding her doll, it's, you know, I think the effect is still there. Her glasses just fell off. But if I hold her next to Courtney here, you can see like, yeah, this is really great for scale. I think the detail is great for 1/3 scale. All in all, I'm glad to have this back. I think Courtney's going to love having it lying on her bed. I say it, poor Molly. It'd be nice to have her hanging out on Molly's bed. Molly's bed? I'm losing my mind. It'll be really nice to have her hanging out on Courtney's bed. Why don't we open her school supplies next? I'm really curious to see this in person because this is one I was a little bit more critical of. So I really want to kind of go ahead and lay eyes on it and see if I like it a little bit more in person. Because again, sometimes you can see pictures of things and you start forming like ideas about it. And then you're like, oh, you know what? Maybe it's not so bad. I think I was being a little bit of a hater. But anyway, let's dive in here and see what we got. And actually already I can tell this is so cute. I love things that are 1/3 scale because they're big enough to appreciate with, you know, my eyesight isn't the best. It's pretty good. But, you know, when things are like this big, I'm like, I can't even see that. So the fact that this is actually big enough to appreciate, I absolutely love all this. It's fun that they put it in this little packaging like this too, so you can really see everything like one at a time. I might actually not even take them out because this video will be 1,000,000 hours long, but look at these like little erasers. I wonder if they're gummy. Actually, they're a little soft. I think they're a little firm for an eraser, but again, these are going to be for display for me, not a big deal. Puffy stickers, which were definitely a big thing in the 80s. But we've got a little kitty cat sticker, the blue poodle, and it looks, I think that's a Triceratops. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to guess Triceratops. This dinosaur eraser, oh, that's probably my favorite one. I love that one so much. These are really, really cool, and I'm already happy I bought the set just because of this stuff alone. All right, I'm going to look at the paperwork in here. Again, we've got some notebook paper for a 3-ring binder. Very appropriate for an 80s student. I'm guessing students still use this now. I have no idea what's going on in elementary schools now. And we've got her... Oh, is this supposed to be like a trapper keeper? Let's see. No, it's not. So this would technically just be like a 3-ring binder. And I am going to take this out of the packaging and have a look at it here. Yeah, again, this is cute. I think, you know, if this were for a child who never experienced Lisa Frank, I think this would be totally acceptable as far as like the quality of design. But I really personally think they could have added some more detail and layers to this unicorn drawing. It's a little bit simplistic, I think, for what an 80s design would be like. This looks a little bit more 2000s to me. And these folders actually look like they're a little bit closer, but I want to say the same thing though. They just look a little flat, I think, for an 80s illustration. Let me get these out of here. It looks like there's multiple folders in here. Okay, there's 2. Yeah, so we've got the dolphin. Again, dolphin iconography was definitely like big for Lisa Frank, so a dolphin definitely makes sense. And then we've got a thing here that says like a rainbow and a cloud, and it says dream. That doesn't seem very 80s to me personally. I don't remember these, like, I want to say chuggy, but I guess we're not using the word chuggy anymore, which I think makes the word chuggy. But yeah, to have something like an Arial rounded spelling dream on here, this just, again, this doesn't look super 80s to me. So, you know, I'm nitpicking here. This looks to me, again, a little bit more 2000s or something like you would see more recently. But yeah, these will be going in this binder, so I won't be looking at them constantly. But yeah, I stand by my initial impressions of these. I think they could have taken this a little bit further and maybe just made it a little bit more accurate to the 80s. But maybe they were trying not to infringe on Lisa Frank's copyright. Who knows? But yeah, this is one bit that I feel like could have been improved upon. Okay, and now we have her plastic pencil case, which again was another piece that I was really excited from this set to see, because I remember pencil cases, and I'm guessing maybe they're not as popular now because I feel like kids have iPads and stuff, but it was such a big deal to get your school supplies, like when you're a student in like the 80s and 90s. Like that would be one of the like silver linings of school starting back, because I was one of those kids that always dreaded like when school would start back after the summer. And one of the things that kind of eased that was being able to go and get new binders and backpacks and like lunch boxes and stuff like that. So I love this stuff just because it kind of is a nice little memory of going and trying to like express your personality through like all your school supplies. So yeah, this is a really cool piece. Again, this definitely looks pretty authentic to me. I think the way they've done the graphics and this plastic for the pencil case. What is this here? I see little magnets in here. Is that for the... Why would that be magnetized? Might be for the pencils. Maybe I'm an idiot, but I don't know why there's little magnets in here, but they'd be there for a reason. But either way, I think this is so cool. And again, this is going to look really great on the bookshelf and Courtney's bed, which I guess I didn't even mention. I bought her bed set and a bunch of other things. Like I'm waiting on her Pac-Man set to arrive, like her lunchbox and everything. So there are a few things you're not seeing here, but they're on the way. I think they got delayed in the mail. But yeah, these pieces here alone made it worth it for me to get this set. I think this stuff is really, really cool. All right, let's do her caboodles next. Again, another really like iconic piece from the 80s. I've been excited to get my like hands on this and have a look at it. All right, right off the bat, we have her hair accessories, and these scrunchies are big. I think they'll look good on Courtney, but they might look a little, like if you want to put them on her wrist, they might actually look a little bit gigantic, but that's okay. I think these are really nice. They're actually like a velvet material, but again, mixing pink and blue, my favorite two colors to mix. So yeah, love this. Here's that like Madonna bow that I was so curious about. I feel like I've seen people wrap this around her head, but looking at it now, this is not going to wrap around her head. So I think this is just supposed to go in her ponytail, I guess. But yeah, I probably will use this. I think it's cute. It's very 80s looking. Oh, and a true collector's item, a silica gel packet. All right, so here's her actual caboodles, and I think it's pronounced caboodles. You don't say like this is her caboodle. So very 80s color palette. We've got the turquoise and the magenta with this like cream colored handle. I'm gonna assume this was a popular color combo for these. So anyway, I'm gonna open it up and see if there's anything in here. I think typically they don't actually ship these with things in them. So I think, oh, actually they did. So we've got, what do we have here? Nail stickers. You can go look at their website if you want to see what those look like. A banana clip, which again, my mom used to wear these in the 80s. So this is very nostalgic to me. I don't know. This doesn't look like it's the correct scale for Courtney. I feel like these like went up like all the way up the back of your head. So maybe this was a different version I'm unfamiliar with, but I'll see. I don't know if I'll actually end up putting this in her hair. It's so small. All right, we've got some hairspray. What brand is this? Oh, it just says hairspray. I feel like Aquanet was probably still popular in the 80s. I can't remember because I didn't wear hairspray, but it's really cute. I love the color of this, actually. That's going to look really cute. We've got a makeup palette. Again, I'm probably not going to take this out. A lot of this stuff is so easy to tell what it looks like just by looking at pictures on American Girl's website. So sorry if I'm blasting through this faster than you'd like. Oh, and we've got a hair pick. These were very big in the 80s. I guess because so many people had perms and everything, I think this was probably good at helping maintain a perm. So a really cool piece to have for Courtney. And again, we just got her caboodle. There's no mirror in here. I feel like caboodles had mirrors in them. Again, probably a cost-saving measure, but would have been nice to have a little mirror in here. But anyway, here's Courtney's caboodle. And again, as far as scale, I think the scale is really great. Her hand like just would fit in the handle. And yeah, this is going to look great in her bedroom. All right, and the last thing I'm going to open today is her guinea pig Parsley. So this box is actually bigger than I was expecting. So hopefully this doesn't take up a ton of room. I want this to actually be able to fit on my shelf with the bed and everything, but it looks like it's going to be big. I'm trying not to mess up all the boxes because like a psychopath, I'm going to keep all of the packaging for all of this stuff, even though I plan to keep it forever, but we'll see what happens. Oh my gosh, yes, this is huge. I did not expect this to be this big. Oh my gosh, like you could basically fit Courtney in here. I guess if she's misbehaving, you throw her in the cage. Yeah, this is actually made out of plastic. I don't know why I thought this was going to be metal, but American Girl doesn't use metal on anything, so I should have known better. But yeah, the scale of this is a lot bigger than I anticipated. But anyway, let's take all the stuff out of here. It's all like rattling around in here. All right, let's see. We've got some carrots. Again, I'm probably not going to waste everybody's time like taking this stuff out of the packaging. I'll wait and show it to you when I actually have our bedroom set up. But we got carrots for parsley. We've got his little water bottle. I think Parsley's a boy, right? I don't know. I'm not that worried about misgendering a guinea pig. But we've got his water bottle. We've got some food and what looks like a name tag for the outside of his cage. Really cute. And it's in like a nice seafoam green color, which again, very 80s. Love this. And the cage is pretty straightforward. It's completely made out of plastic. And then there's like, it looks like cornflakes on the bottom of this thing, but I would venture to say this is probably meant to be wood chips or whatever. I don't know. We never had rodents growing up. So if you've had a guinea pig or whatever, maybe you know what this is. But yeah, I just feel like I can picture like a bunch of wood chips in the bottom. And after having like read the story, like it's kind of funny because the whole, like one of the storylines, this isn't really a spoiler, but her stepsister Tina was complaining about the smell of the guinea pigs. So I don't know, it's kind of like, can you imagine if they made this like scented and it actually smelled like, I don't know, like dirty rodent. All right, we'll open up Parsley so we can have a look at him. I haven't looked at this up close before. I just sort of bought it without thinking about it. So I'm not really sure what to expect. I'm going to assume that he's plush and not plastic, but we're about to find out. He is wrapped in here tightly. All right, we've got some stickers. Again, that's probably just to decorate his cage, which I will not do because I don't like taking things like out of their original form. I like to keep them mint condition. We've got a guinea pig care book, which I'm sure actually is probably a real world book, but I'm not going to read it because I don't ever plan on getting a guinea pig. We've got this little hut to go in the cage. We'll go ahead and put it in here for him. Why not? Easy peasy. I love all the layers of things that they have. Like this is going to be so cute, I think. And lastly, we have this little beetle looking guinea pig and his name is Parsley and he's got a tag. I think that's even longer than he is almost, but he is so cute. Look at his little bug eyes. I don't know what I expected him to smell like. He's really, really cute. I actually am kind of glad I got this. Again, it's so like important to Courtney's story. So I really love having this because it kind of ties the whole thing together. And I think I'm going to let him roam free rather than living in his cage. But I'll stick him in the cage really quick just so you can see scale if you wanted to. It's like, boom, you're trapped. So yeah, now I've locked him in there with no food. That seems abusive. So let's take him out and have one last look at him. Let's see how he's like in scale with Courtney. Like if you want to see. Actually, you could almost fit him in our fanny pack. Let's see if he'll fit in there. I have too many other things in there, but I bet you could stick him in here. And like, I know like most of you probably don't live in big cities, but we lived in San Francisco for a while and like people would just take their like rodents and birds and stuff into the grocery store. So like you would just be like at the Safeway, like trying to buy cereal and some guy would just walk by and like with a parrot on his head. So yeah, I mean, if she were to take a trip to San Francisco, maybe she can take Parsley with her in her little fanny pack. All right, so that's my Courtney haul. I just wanted to share this with you because like I said, I have absolutely lost my mind. I have no business buying this much doll stuff before packing it all up and trekking across country with it. But I live in Oregon right now and I get to buy all this stuff without paying sales tax. So I've justified it that way, saying like, okay, well, I'm actually saving money doing it this way, even though it's probably going to cost me the difference just to cart it over to North Carolina. But yeah, this has been a really stressful time in my life. And I have to say, like, American Girl and Pleasant Company and Courtney especially has really kind of helped take my mind off of things. It's been really fun to kind of dive into a story that might have technically been written for children, but it's still enjoyable as an adult to read because of the storylines and all of the things that they, you know, that they bring up that I remember from, you know, the 80s, even though it was technically 1986 and I wasn't making memories. That whole era is still like pretty vivid to me still. So yeah, it's just been really fun to use this as an escape. And, you know, at this point, it probably would have been cheaper to hire a therapist or like get a Groupon for like betterhelp.com. Shout out betterhelp.com if you want to sponsor this channel. I would love that. So that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and Courtney today. This was a lot of fun. Be sure to hit the subscribe and like button if you want to help my channel out. I would love to have you along for my doll collecting journey. For even more doll content, be sure to follow me on TikTok and Instagram at idreamofjohnny. Don't forget, you can join my Patreon family at patreon.com/idreamofjohnny, where there are a ton of extra perks like ad-free videos, exclusive videos, all kinds of stuff. Just go over there and check it out. I would love to have you along for that ride as well. And until next time, please take care of yourself, and I will see you real soon. Bye for now.